Hi guys, Big 5-2. How does my personality promote self-confidence? I think the biggest personality trait that I have is empathy, and actually caring and believing that not only I am, through the grace of God, but also my students are perfect and whole in the sight of God. Therefore, I do my best not to judge them on any basis whatsoever, and but to always, or to the best of my ability, to always be an encourager. How does my personality deter my self-confidence? Well, it's kind of just the opposite of that. My quest for organizational skills and perfection in a lot of my career as a Division I football coach, and even as a science teacher and PE teacher, is that I've always sought perfection in my students. Therefore, a lot of times I did things without a smile on my face, or I might get frustrated. So it's during those times, or my negative reactions, that are absolutely unacceptable, not only for the students that I teach, but for any students. Um, all students are learners. I truly believe, or in identifying several different reasons why an understanding of a participant or client would be useful to you as a sports science professional. Understanding these kids or the client is everything, um, and being an inquirer. In my opinion, all students are learners. They've all been created in the image of God, and they're perfect in God's sight. Therefore, they're perfect in my sight. But they are also individuals, and so it's very, very important for us to understand them, to inquire, to find out about their lives. I cannot tell you how many times I've had conversations with kids with the circumstances that I'm in, that either their parents are in prison, or family or gang members, and it's just not what they want for their life. But they're actually, most of my kids are emotionally disturbed. Um, and therefore, and I actually grew up in an abusive household, and was very similar to these kids. So having that empathy for them is certainly helpful. All students are learners, and we must come alongside them as learners and discover their fears, their pains, their insecurities, but also their hopes and their dreams. That's when there becomes a very special relationship between us all that is God-centered. Um, I think it's important to inquire, foster, or a lot of my kids are from foster homes, a lot of them are from wards of the state. Therefore, assessing them, acquiring, observing, find out what the function of their feelings are, assess them again, and then help create goals for them, not just in sports or physical education, but goals for life. Give them some tools to help them take control of their learning experience and take control of their emotions. Um, some traits that are relatively stable characteristics that I possess, whereas states change from moment to moment depending on life circumstances. Um, what components of my personality do I find relatively stable? I think again it comes back to empathy, and I do not judge these kids, and therefore a lot of times we're in situations where I can do nothing but pray, and that's what I do, and that is basically giving the control back over to God and the Holy Spirit to keep us safe and to help us through the situations that we're in. What components of my personality do I find to change according to the particular circumstances? When things aren't going well, when I do not act inquiringly, and I'm not compassionate and give choices to the kids that I have, it usually leads to behavior. And our behavior issues can be pretty serious. Therefore, it's always compassion and empathy, and inquire and stick to the plan. The verse Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Yes, and I think it's super, super important to call upon that strength. I try to pray for my kids on a daily basis. I walk the fields that we're going to practice on, and I think that's super experience. What are your thoughts when I consider that God gives you the strength to do all things? It gives me hope. It gives me hope, it gives me faith. And hope and faith mean love. And I can show that kind of love to these kids, then it's amazing that they show it back in the sense of security that I get. And they know that it's something different in me or the other teachers that are Christ or spiritually based. Do I agree that having confidence not in yourself will actually give you freedom and peace? Yeah, I've tried it the other way. And the other way at my school led to very aggressive behavior. Aggressive behavior in the sense that I'm dealing with K through 21-year-old. And so I'm talking physical, I'm talking bodily harm. But what I found is, especially the last 8 months of school, is just turning it over to Christ, praying, inquiring, becoming friends with these kids, setting goals for them, and teaching them just as hard as I would a scholarship player that I would coach in a Division I program. It's just created such a bond and a deeper caring for one another. That's it. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoy.